You ever notice something kind of weird? You look at the price of gas at the station down the street, or you check the cost of a flight for your vacation, and the price just seems stuck. It just stays there, right, for weeks on end, even when it feels like everything else in the world is changing. Well, believe it or not, there's a fascinating economic model that explains this. It's like a secret playbook for these industries. It's called the Kinked Demand Curve, and it shows us why sometimes the absolute smartest move is to make no move at all.
So yeah, this is the big puzzle we're tackling. This price stickiness, as economists call it, isn't some random accident. Nope, it's actually the result of this high-stakes game of chicken being played between just a few really powerful companies. And once you understand their strategy, you get this incredible window into how these industries really work.
So for a minute, let's forget about basic supply and demand. What we're talking about here is much more like a strategic standoff, almost like an economic Cold War, where every single company is just staring at its rivals, just waiting to see who's going to blink first.
And the market structure where this all goes down is called an oligopoly. Now, the key word here, the one you got to remember, is interdependent. It just means you're not operating in a vacuum, not at all. If you're running a major airline, you can't just change your baggage fees without immediately thinking, how are my rivals going to react to this? Every single decision you make is completely tied to what you predict they'll do in response.
Think of it like a high-stakes chess match. You're not just thinking about your next move. You're trying to think 3 moves ahead, constantly trying to anticipate your opponent's countermoves. For these companies, a simple price change can either win them the game, or it could be the move that gets their queen captured. It's that serious. Okay, so let's put ourselves in the shoes of a manager at one of these companies. We'll call it Resort A. You've got 2 other major resorts breathing down your neck, and the pressure is always on. So the big question on your mind is, what do we do with our prices? Do we raise them or do we cut them? And here it is. This is the crucial insight of the whole model. The manager basically assumes that the competition is going to react completely differently depending on which way the price moves. If you raise your price, your rivals will probably just ignore you. But if you lower your price, they're going to be forced to retaliate, and fast. These 2 assumptions, they're the engine that makes this whole thing work. So let's play out that first scenario. Let's say Resort A gets a little bold, a little greedy maybe, and raises its room rates. What do the other resorts do? Absolutely nothing. I mean, why would they? They can just sit back, keep their prices right where they are, and watch all of Resort A's customers come flooding over to them. It's a perfect example of the huge risk you take when you're the first one to hike up prices.
Now, in economic speak, we call this highly elastic demand. Elastic is just a fancy way of saying super sensitive, because your customers can so easily just book a room at the other resort down the road. Even a tiny price increase sends them running for the hills. For that manager at Resort A, it is a truly punishing outcome.
Okay. But what if Resort A tries the opposite tactic? What if they cut their prices, hoping to steal everyone else's customers? Well, this time, Resorts B and C can't afford to just sit there and do nothing. If they don't react, they'll lose their own customers to the now cheaper Resort A. So what do they have to do? They have to retaliate, matching that price cut instantly. And the result? A price war, where nobody really wins.
And this creates what we call highly inelastic demand. Inelastic basically means people aren't very responsive. Since all your rivals immediately matched your price cut, you don't actually get to steal that many of their customers. You've just kicked off a race to the bottom, and now everyone is simply making less money on every single room.
So you've got these 2 totally opposite forces at play. If you raise prices, you get hammered by your customers. If you lower prices, you start a price war for almost no gain. And when you put those 2 scenarios together on a graph, you get something really unique.
And this right here is the kink in the kinked demand curve. See, above the current price, the demand curve is pretty flat and elastic because your customers will flee. But below the current price, that curve gets really steep and inelastic because your competitors are forced to follow you down. That sharp corner, that kink, right at the current price, well, that's the trap.
This puts our poor manager in a terrible spot. It's a classic trap. Moving up is punished by the market. Moving down is punished by your rivals. There is just no easy way to win here.
So, you're the manager. You're faced with this no-win dilemma. What's the logical, profit-maximizing, risk-avoiding thing to do? The answer, it turns out, is surprisingly simple. That's it. Seriously, the best strategic move is no move at all. This model predicts that the most rational decision for a company in this position is to just hold its price steady. Don't raise it, don't lower it, just stay right there at the kink. And this, right here,
brings us all the way back to our original question. That price for gas, or that airline ticket that just doesn't seem to budge, it's not a coincidence. It's the result of every single company being caught in this exact same trap, where the safest, and honestly, the most profitable strategy is to simply do nothing.
So, let's just recap the logic one more time. A price increase is met with a shrug from your rivals, leading to a massive loss of customers for you. A price decrease is met with instant retaliation, resulting in almost no gain in customers. In either scenario, the firm that makes the first move loses. So the only logical conclusion is to just stick with the price you've already got. So the next time you see prices that seem oddly stable, for things like cell phone plans or sodas or even streaming services, ask yourself if what you're really seeing is this invisible standoff in action. It's a really powerful reminder that in the world of high-stakes business, sometimes the most profitable move you can make is no move at all.